God, I have this
I
great
got you.
guided
I
tour. You know
got
what
you,
I'm saying?
Swave. Real quick, right? So like, I got you.
Pour me
Like,
some in that
let
red cup.
give me the first off. Which one is it that came first? Was you going up to all these like places on your own? What formed a unison and a group and a bond with Stronghold, or was Stronghold a thing that you formed? Like you guys formed together before you even ended up going out to these places. You know what I mean?
Well, nah, I never. To be real with you, as tight as I was with Stronghold, I never really rolled to shop demos with them.
Work,
Like
work.
each like a lot of people in Stronghold had individual deals. Poison Pen dropped the album, Read Ever Phone dropped the album. Yeah, I know Immortal Technique. He be soaring all across the world. You know what I mean? Everybody had dropped individual albums, had individual deals. Like we never really shopped a demo together, not to my knowledge. And if they did, I wasn't there. So my demo shopping came from me being with my group CVs, IP and Pro, and me being by myself, a solo artist. So
What's it? Okay, so what's it like to shop demos even? Because as you say this, like for me, I get a foggy idea of what it's like to shop demos, but just hearing you describe this stuff, I'm telling you, people are very interested in this kind of content.
man, shopping demos was exhausting. Recording the tape. First of all, we used to do cassettes. Recording and going down and hanging out in front of them labels and just hoping you catch somebody that's gonna take the shit and go upstairs and listen and or word of mouth, or you know, we doing little showcasing and networking at the shows and just trying to meet that one person that's gonna get this shit in the right hands to the right ears to listen to. Yo, that shit was exhausting, B. But it was a nonstop hustle. You know what I mean? Even down to going down to 42nd Street and trying to bump CDs off, or even if you're giving them out, just trying to get somebody hanging out in front of studios, waiting for somebody to pull up. I used to hang out in front of Quad. You know what I mean? Until that Tupac shit happened, that shit stopped all that.
Yeah, that's
Yo, that's some very real time information, by the way. You know what I mean?
Well,
I wasn't in the
true story. Me and IP and Pro was in Quad recording when Tupac got killed. When Tupac got shot. He didn't get killed that time. When that day happened, Tupac got shot in the lobby. We was upstairs on the fourth floor.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
We was there that day, my nigga. We was there, and we just came back from getting Popeye's chicken.
I love that Popeyes was always a staple. You know what I mean? Popeyes always been a staple. That Louisiana.
We was eating chicken in the studio when the engineer came in and said, "Yo, it's mad police outside." We didn't know what was happening. We still when we went downside, they let us leave the building, but they ain't let us back in. We still ain't know what happened. I ain't find out what happened until the next day. It was all over the news and everybody. Nigga like Tupac got shot. We was like, oh shit, we was there.
Yo, that's amazing. Like just as a story, all of that, like that's incredible.
That is incredible.
That moment.
That is crazy.
Like,
but this is what I'm saying. Like, so you came across that in your group CV with IP and Pro. Like, so you was doing a lot of running around with them mostly, and by yourself.
I keep it real. The majority of the time, I was with Pro and Ike. Like that's my group. To this day, we still consider ourselves. If we were to pick up the mic and get it going again, it's gonna be us three. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's still CVs, nigga. To this day, we were just talking about.
I already know. Listen, bro. I know all this, right? Like I know I'm playing dumb because like that's the whole point of like
all this.
the only way people gonna know our stories if we start like telling them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no fucking archive for none of this shit. You know? And so like I think that part of like what I'm trying to do here is like archive as much as I can with the bros and like make sure that there's like something out there in the world that like, you know, cements and like says like, yeah, like this was really actually happening. We were there. Like there's You were there. Penn was there. Breeze was there. Zoo was there. Pro was there. And if if one of y'all wasn't there, one of y'all was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the whole point. And like, this is the way that we can like pull together this painting and this picture that I don't think that there's like enough information out there in the world for. You know what I'm saying? For people.
And the other part of it is like a lot of us became artists way after this foundational period happened, we can call it, right? And so we don't know what happened back then. We know a lot of complaining. We know a lot of things. And I can tell you one thing, for me as a human, going through this process with people and learning about how much you hustled or the various things and how young you were with the various accomplishments that are pretty fucking incredible, like at your like, just in general, the multiple facets to your life. Like, these are all things where you process it and you're like, okay, so if I really want, it's kind of like when you heard the bars and had to step your game up when you heard Nas. I hear these stories and I'm like, bro, I got to step my life game up. Like, and a lot of people, the more of these stories they get, we both get the benefit of the documentation of the history, which is actually really important. But the other side is everyone who sees this will be able to listen to your life story and benefit from it, which is just incredible because you're that interesting and you're that accomplished with what you've done. And this is what you barely started your career, and it's already hella grind, hella hustle, hella discipline, hella fucking accolades in the sense of productivity, effort, and longevity. Because if you start at 4 and you're already up into like the early adulthood, that's already more than a decade of grind, my guy. That's fucking incredible.
Facts. I was not disciplined young enough to do any of that. Like, I played Little League and I was like, my dream was to be a baseball player, and that did not last because immediately like girls came into the picture and it was like, oh, spending all my time chasing ass, I guess.
Yep. I took to the video games pretty heavy when I was young, not into other things as much. So like, it just also gives the context that like, yo, if you're in your 30s and you're at 5 years into the game, you're kind of going against peoples that have done this for multiple decades in terms. So it's like adding these perspectives to the greater collective just helps. So I just appreciate you sharing these stories from this part of your life where it's super hard to otherwise find.
I'm here. We all here to inspire somebody. Hopefully we can. By doing something we do going to inspire somebody. So hopefully you inspire them in the right way. You can inspire somebody to do some dumb shit. You know what I mean? Hopefully you inspire them in the right way.